Hi, hello, how are you doing? Welcome to my channel, IamVel, and this is the drugstore versus the high-end makeup. And yeah, I had not everything from the both sides, and so I want you to answer the question in comments. Which side do you think is a drugstore and which side is a high-end in my today's makeup? Maybe you will guess before watching the video. And if you're interested what I used and how basically you can exchange one product to another from the high end to the low end. It sounds ridiculous, but still, if you want to exchange some higher end product to a drugstore, it's possible and it won't give you that much of a difference, as you can see. So yeah, please leave me some comments and let's get started. So the first thing I want to start with is actually the primer. So this part of the face is going to be the drugstore part, and this one is going to be the high-end part. These primers are not equal. This one is more moisturizing and this one is more silicone-y. And I don't have a few like high-end items and a few probably drugstore items, so I will try to explain during the video. So let's start with the primer. Primers are on, and now I want to take a minute for Catrice 1 Minute Face Perfector, which is not really foundation or anything, and the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing BB Gel, because this part needs more silicone on it, because this one has it already, and this part instead needs more moisture. I should have switched it, but whatever. So both products are supposed to perfect and change your face a bit, so they have like that adapting feature, and I honestly think that both are pretty equal, despite the fact that this part of the face is probably a bit darker, because Clinique is for some reason a bit darker, and you can actually see that Catrice is quite dark, especially for me. Like, you can even see the difference, but when you apply it to your face, it actually becomes a decent color and you won't tell much of a difference. Yeah, so these two done. Let's go on further. As far as I don't really have the foundation, like I do have a drugstore foundation, but I don't have any foundation from the high end. Still, I generally don't use that foundation a lot, so I'm going to use the two concealers from the high end, which is the Tarte Shape and the Time Balm, and I'm going to use two concealers from the drugstore, which is the Catrice and NYX. So this one is color correcting, by the way, so I'm not sure how it's gonna go on both sides, but yeah, that's the things. And let's just apply them. I don't know. Usually I use a brush, but sometimes it actually okay. So I color correct the things that I find the most problematic on my face, and I do the same with the creamy concealer from the Balm. And I'm going to use two different sponges as well. Unfortunately, I don't have a beauty blender, but like, why would I have it anyways when you have Real Techniques and all other stuff? Nevertheless, I got one sponge from the DM, and another one is actually also from the DM, but it feels ridiculous. But the thing is that they are completely different. This is the Real Technique sponge, and this is just a DM brand sponge, so these two are also big. So this is the correcting part. Let's move into concealer. So this is gonna be a bit darker, I guess. And I also don't apply concealer all over the face because it's not what you need. And in case of Tarte Shape tape, it's actually very pigmented and you don't need a lot of it. So I'm just dabbing a bit to the areas that I find need concealing. And I usually leave my skin like bare in other places, in other areas. So yeah, this part is gonna be a bit lighter. And I do go on the upper lid as well, and like here around, just stretching out the concealer. You don't need the whole like triangle. It actually makes things worse in my opinion. You just need to conceal a bit and stretch it out. Product goes a long way. And this area. If I have some extra redness on my face, I just leave it as is, because you don't have to like conceal your face completely to a blank canvas. At least I don't like that part, and I will never do that as well, because it seems ridiculous, and in the sun, under the sunlight, in the daylight, you will actually look hella problematic as well. I just don't like that big amount of everything. So the next step and the next product I'm going to use is actually the contouring powder. So this is NYX Taupe Blush, and this is the Balm Take Home Bronze. This is bronzer, but it's like very nice shade of it, and it's not orange or anything, so I really like this one. It's kinda close, this one is more pink, but nevertheless, I will try it out. Usually I don't bronze my face, but I do some light contour just so my face won't be like blank without anything. And I have to do this as well. This is very light. I don't go over anything, I don't draw on new lines, just try to use what I have. See, it's already like some shadow here. And for the next one, I'm going to use probably contour brush. Sorry, this one is quite dusty actually. I don't know why, but all the same areas, nothing different, absolutely all the same stuff. So after the blush, I actually go up to my eyes, because I just do the base first and then I go up to eyes. For the drugstore part of tight lighting, I'm going to use the NYX eyeliner pencil. And for the high end, I'm going to use Mr. White by Balm. This one is brown black and this one is pure black, but I don't think it's going to be a huge difference, and you don't want to see the tight lining process. So what tight lining does for me is when I apply mascara after, it's not gonna show up that my lashes are very light. As you can see, I'm pretty blonde, and I do need this blacker line to actually be able to cover my lashes with the black mascara. Otherwise, it just looks weird. So, moving on to brows, I have the Manhattan Brow-tastic pencil in taupe or in blonde. I think it's blonde. Yeah, this one is blonde. And I have the Furrowcious brow pencil from the Balm, which I actually use more than this one, but the color of this is pretty close, so my brows would probably be different colors. Yeah. Not very visible on camera, but yeah, in real life it's kind of a bit different colors. So now we are moving into the eyes, and I'm actually going to skip the... But you know what? I can pretty much do base, eyeshadow base. So yeah, 1 minute. My camera just flips a switch between the actual auto sensitivity of the microphone and the manual sensitivity of the microphone, and I cannot stand it almost completely. Sorry. So eyeshadow base. For the eyeshadow base on Drugstore side, we are having Essence. I love color intensifying, and for the high ends, I actually have LORAC. This one came with the LORAC palette, which I have but don't really use. There are lots of them that I don't use. So all the same stuff again and again. No brush this time. I believe in fingers. Drugstore. High end. This is more creamy, but not very colorful or anything. Yeah, eyeshadow base done. Now we can move to the actual eyeshadow. And for this little fun, I chose 2 eyeshadow palettes that I think are pretty similar in some colors, at least in that colors that I use. So this is the Live Lingerie from the NYX for the Drugstore side, and this is the Matte Trimony from the Balm for the other side. As you can see, there are some colors that are pretty similar to each other, like the pink one, the light one, the orangey one, and yeah, browns are also quite close to each other. So I'm going to use this palette first, just to define what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to switch to the balm. What I usually do is I'm applying the lighter shade, just the lighter shade and the brush all over the lid. This is not like I'm setting up the eyeshadow base, but kind of close to it. Then I'm going to take the more orangey color and add it like here. Very lightly, very lightly. Also taking it down here. Then I'm going to go and intensify this with the brownish shades. Very tiny amount. It's easier to add than to actually take away, so never rush this thing. Very light. I guess it's a bit too light to actually see. So let's add some up. Sorry guys, I'm not on the bright side. I'm a nude bitch. I'm up for nude makeups as much as I can. I think it's okay. Can add some pink in here too. Whole area. Mix them all together. I'm also wearing pink today, so. Then I'm switching over to the actual high-end palette, to use all the same steps. So the very light shadow goes all over the lid. The pigmentation actually going to be a bit different, so don't mind it. And then we're diving into more of this one. A bit like orangey. I'm drawing it up to a crease and then fluffing it out. I'm trying to compare both of my eyes and bring them to at least something close to each other. This eye is a more brownish, so I guess I need to add that a bit. And also, despite the fact that shades are quite similar, the undertone of them can be completely different. This one is more cool toned in my opinion, and this one is more warm toned. And even though I'm doing these things like absolutely identically as I usually do, they can appear a bit different. Maybe it's makeup, maybe it's me. I'm not a pro in that, so don't judge. I'm trying my best. Yes. Next thing is going to be the NYX Epic Ink eyeliner on this part and the Balm Schwing. This type of eyeliner is actually not my favorite. I do like markers with the brush. This one is not actually a brush, like it's a bit of a spongy thing. And also this one is so much easier to use compared to this type. So yeah, nevertheless, let's try that. I will need a mirror, and I'm going to use my matte palette because it has like a decent size of mirror. I'm sorry guys, I'm just so used to doing my makeup like this. So that's the eyeliner of this part. Now the more complicated one. Because this is like a whole bowl, I'm not supposed to switch it over, otherwise I'm going to... Yeah, eyes a bit different. This one is bigger. I'm going to try to make them more symmetrical, you know? Otherwise it will bother me a lot. See how easier this one is actually to use. Okay, this is a bit better. And now mascara. And I actually don't have a high-end mascara at all. So sorry guys for that. I never really expected to get this video done or do anything about it, so I didn't buy any high-end mascara. So I'm going to use on both eyes the NYX Worth the Hype mascara, because why not? I just like it. And I will come back soon. This is actually my everyday makeup, and now we're moving to the part that I almost never do. It's lips. So on this side we're having the Catrice Dewy Full Lips. This one is the Balmjour. Yeah, just try it out. It's kind of weird though to apply everything to only one half of the face. I tried to match colors as best as I can, but I honestly didn't buy these things specifically for the video, for the sake of the video. I just use them every day depending on my mood, on what I feel like, on what I want to do, and stuff like that. So this is obviously a different color. Let's ignore that, okay? Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. The new video will be up on Friday and it's not like a basic makeup. Give this video a like, and I really appreciate you subscribing to my channel and interacting with me. If you have any questions, please feel free, and see you later. Bye!